We should view ourselves as temporary residents who are just passing through this old system and headed for the real life in the new world.
More counterfeit words being spoken to the countless elderly Jehovah's Witnesses who didn't prepare for retirement and are now living in poverty because they believed your claims about the end being
just around the corner.
The Watchtower has been conning people with those same false promises for more than a century. And what do they all have to show for it?
What is 10 times 0? 0. 100 times 0. 1,000 times 0. 1,000,000 times 0. We still have 0.
Correct. They have nothing except for your disassociative fantasies and deeply suppressed suspicions about having been duped, which of course they were. What the hell do you mean temporary residents? They lived and worked and died for you entirely in this world, and their lives were harder for it.
What do we mean by temporary resident? Well, imagine that you rent an old house to live in while a new, beautiful house is being built for you. You'll live there only a few months.
A few months? Seriously? How many months has it been since 2014? Since 2003? Since 1975? Since 1919? How many months has it been since October 1914, which Charles Taze Russell taught would be the end of the last days, and Rutherford later retconned to the start of the last days? A few months? You said it again in your most recent talk on JW Broadcasting. Last month.
Even if you ended up staying a few months, not just decades, as the case in the last days, would you install a new concrete driveway? You'd never rip up the carpet, install new carpet or tile. Would you put in new electrical wiring and plumbing? You would never rip off the wallpaper and install new wallpaper. Would you install brand new vinyl siding? You might do a few cosmetic things to make your stay a little more comfortable. You might rearrange the chairs. You might reposition the lamps. You might buy some flowers, put it on a table. You might spray some air freshener. But you wouldn't do anything major. You wouldn't buy new furniture. You'd keep it simple. Why?
Because you believe that anything Jehovah's Witnesses could invest in their own lives and homes is rightfully yours. That's why. You direct Jehovah's Witnesses to view themselves as temporary residents. But why does the Watchtower never take its own advice?
Hypocritical.
Why, after spending over $7 million to purchase a property in Palm Coast, Florida for the School of Kingdom Evangelizers, did you remodel it in all of the major ways that you just directed Jehovah's Witnesses not to do for their own homes?
We had a very tight time frame. The work that was necessary was extensive cleaning. There was painting work to be done, electrical work to be done, HVAC work to be done, plumbing, and then extensive landscaping was also done, and it's made the whole area absolutely gorgeous.
Why can't you keep it simple and make do with the vast portfolio of properties that the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society already owns?
They've been willing to sell buildings. They've been willing to buy buildings. See, they're always thinking, well, what's best for kingdom interests? We're not attached to anything material.
Holy shit. Are you talking like an actual human for once?
Now, isn't that a contrast?
So your wild-eyed, demented grandpa persona is all an act? A mask you wear to appear befuddled and consequently more trustworthy and less dangerous?
We'll put it in the next Watchtower.
What a piece of shit!
If only Jehovah's Witnesses would realize that. If only Jehovah's Witnesses would realize a lot of things.
You know, you're just a temporary resident, and that soon you'll move into your beautiful new home. So we keep it simple. We're temporary residents in this old system. And it's real protection, especially if you didn't know exactly when you're going to have to check out. And this is especially true when thinking about where we
find ourselves in the stream of time,
knowing that the great day of Jehovah is near in the near future, in the final part of the last days.
undoubtedly,
undoubtedly, no doubt about it,
undoubtedly,
unquestionably, it may well be, it could well be, in fact, certainly, for a certainty, evidently, apparently, obviously, and likely, soon, we don't know exactly when, but you know it's soon. The final part of the
last days.
Shortly before the final part of the final part of the final part of the final part of the last years of the last days, shortly before the last day of the last days.
Shows you he's obviously insane.
Tony, I just want you to know that whatever happens, You will always be a governing body member to me.
Some historic changes. Can't minimize that. It's been quite phenomenal.